round two. There we go. I gotta make a little adjustment here, and then we're ready to go. So I'm gonna do this, and go back to the full screen mode here. So let us know in the chat if you can see us, if you can hear us. Welcome to the Hohner Live. This is episode 69, which is crazy. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. Let us know from where you're tuning in. And I'm super excited about this conversation. So if you out there have the TikTok app installed on your phone and scroll through the posts before, I'm pretty sure you've seen Isaac before. This is at least how I discovered him, and his fantastic harmonica playing, which is very rhythmic and articulate and bluesy. And I'm a huge fan, and I'm thankful for having you on the Hohner Live. Thank you so much for taking the time. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm yet to dive into the TikTok world. So I was just like very curious, and I was just like searching for harmonica videos on there, and there are like many like kind of funny videos too. Just like seeing what. Oh, people can't hear you yet. Let me adjust that. I can. So now everything should be fine. Let us know in the chat.
Can y'all hear me now? Anybody
Check,
hear me
1,
now?
2, check.
Let
1,
us
2.
know in the chat.
So yeah, it should be very fast. The latency.
All good, Derek
That's
says.
good.
Thank you, Derek. Appreciate it. Wesley,
Wonderful.
what's going on? Appreciate y'all coming in on the chat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So everybody, I guess he was just we were, I guess, to fill everybody in on what I just said.
Yeah. Say that again.
TikTok has been an amazing way to discover a lot of musicians that I would never feel like I've never discovered before, especially if you're a touring musician, because then you really only see people that you're on tour with because you're working and you're around that. But outside of that, you really don't have much exposure to new music, you know. So TikTok has been a very good tool for in a community, because the way you can duet videos on TikTok, so I can put out a video.
I've only done that like once or twice.
Well, it's really cool because sometimes these like world-renowned musicians will sit in there and put something on top of what you put out, and it's mind-blowing.
Exactly.
You know, that collaboration that just happened. Like, and people ask me all the time, "Oh my God, do you know this guy that you did? Or you know that girl that you did?" I've never met them. I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
You know, people think that we do these things on purpose, but they probably don't even know I'm doing it on theirs.
And you never know. Like, I think I just like saw a video on Instagram, but it's also like coming from TikTok, where the electronic producer duo Disclosure from the UK, they sampled like a guy. Is his name Hal Walker? He also plays a lot of harmonica, but he also plays that. That instrument, like the mouth organ. It looks like a mouth organ, and it has.
Is it not a melodica? Or does it have buttons?
Oh, it has just like these long pipes.
Oh, wow!
And you can also blow and draw, and it's.
You mean like a real mouth organ?
Yeah, it's really like an organ sound. I mean, the chordal possibilities are limited, but it's like whatever, like 1 chord, 4 chords.
Yeah, minor, I mean that's amazing,
and it sounds fantastic. And they sampled like these 2 chords and started to create a song with it. I mean, they are very famous. I'm a huge fan.
I'm sure.
And they just started like a TikTok, and then in the end it says like, should we finish the song or something? You know.
Wow, I'm gonna have to look that up on TikTok. That's the thing. I hesitated on TikTok for a while, just because I don't know. It was just it's a lot when I first got on TikTok, it wasn't necessarily for musicians and looking up musicians. I
Yeah,
didn't even know that
true.
was a thing. I thought it was just silly videos and silly stuff. And when I started, because I post stuff on Instagram and Facebook and everything, and you get a certain amount of engagement. And I think like the first TikTok I put out doing harmonica, I mean, just had thousands and thousands of people that saw it, and I thought that was just absolutely amazing.
That's it. Yeah.
And since then it's been very consistent. I'll put out a video that'll get 4 million views on TikTok and 200 views on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just a different platform, different things.
Yeah. I mean, it got very hard to reach people on Facebook, and it's getting harder on Instagram too. And
Very.
yeah, like the
Instagram wants you to
perfect
go
time
to
to
Reels.
step into TikTok was probably 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now I mean, now it's still easier to reach an audience than on Instagram, I feel like.
It is, especially in the music world. I feel like a lot of people on there. It's just like you found me on your that For You page. It's just stuff that scrolls. People that don't even go see live music and don't even necessarily ever thought of liking the harmonica.
Yeah.
My a video or one of your videos or a video from a harmonica player will run down in front of them and they go, "Oh my god, I like this. I never knew I liked this, but I love this." And then they start following, and you're literally adding new fans to an instrument that they didn't know even existed. I mean, a lot of these are younger people on TikTok.
Yeah. So true. So when did you upload your first TikTok video then?
Oh man, that's a wonderful question. I don't even have a way to look right now because I'm using my phone that I'm
Oh yeah.
on here on. But I'm gonna guess a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, maybe two. Yeah, probably about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I uploaded my first one. It was kind of right when everyone first started talking about it.
Right. Yeah.
I got on it, and like I said, it wasn't for music at first. It was just kind of like silly videos I was putting up, and then I put one out with harmonica, and it got a lot of people, were like, "Hey, you should do more of this." And I just never stopped from there. I never put out another silly video. I just all from then on, it was just all harmonica, and I really wanted to do it different on TikTok because TikTok is the home of the 15-second generation. Like if you can't capture someone's attention in 2 seconds and hold it for 15 seconds, you're done. They're already on to something new. So it's really hard to grab someone's attention. So I would mix it with drummers or with hip hop songs, rap songs, stuff that no one ever really put harmonica on. And it really just caught people's attention. And I feel like that's kind of how it led.
Yeah. That's so wonderful. And just like talking about your actual background, like when did you start playing harmonica?
I started playing harmonica kind of young, but then never really got into it.
Oh
Left
wow,
it
okay.
alone. I played trumpet and when I in band when I was in school a little bit and never really got into it. My father had bought me a little Hohner harmonica, and he said, "I bought this for you. I was thinking about you." And at the time I was like, "Why in the world would he buy me this? Doesn't make any sense." And I put it in my truck, and I was on my way to work one morning, and I heard a Doobie Brothers song that had harmonica in it, and I just went reaching for my harmonica and I found it, and it just happened to be in the right key. And so nothing I played sounded good, but some of the notes I hit were right, and it sounded like that person. And
I see. Yeah.
all day long at work, all I wanted to do was go home and learn that song, and I did. I went home and I learned that song. It took me almost 3 weeks. And then once I learned that, I kind of, it showed me how to bend notes by learning that. And then I just said, well, I wonder what I can do from here. And then ended up joining into like a Southern metal band,
Okay.
and was harmonica player. And it was all just big amps and loud distortion and that kind of thing. And that was a lot of fun and very fundamental because the metal musicians take it very serious. And there's a lot of notes and a lot of things that go on in the metal world. And I think that persistence and that band practiced every day for years, and that turned into another band that practiced every day for years. And I feel like that kind of time with my instrument really just, it became my life. It overwhelmed me. Like,
Yeah.
but then it kind of moved on from there. And then from there, me and my brother moved to Tennessee and started our own band. And then we toured all over. And from there, it's just been wild ride.
So it was all self-taught in the end. You never really had a harmonica teacher, did you?
Never had a harmonica teacher. I had people along the way. Like when I moved to Tennessee, Nashville, there were some older cats who, were really good, in my opinion, were way better than me, and their style was really good. They were, but their attitude wasn't very good. They didn't want to show me. They felt like I was a threat to them or something. And they weren't nice about it. They were kind of just like, hey, you can sit down and watch me, but I'm not going to show you anything.
Okay.
There was a couple guys though that were the opposite. Gregory Hohner, a really good friend of mine, who's in my opinion one of the best in the world, but no one knows about him because he never really toured or really did too much. And harmonica is his life, and he makes them, tunes them, sets them up, does everything, and he's a super good player. But he always wanted to show me, and he is more of the Jason Ricci style, and like Howard Levy, and who he studied with and stuff. So he kind of pushed me in that direction, but I always resisted. I never wanted it. Didn't want to learn the classical thing. I wanted to learn the bluesy kind of way. But my problem was I would always follow the drummer. So if even in a blues song, if the drummer's going tap, tick, tap, tap, tick, tap, tap, instead of doing a blues lick over that, my harmonica is going pop, tap, 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 tap.
Oh yeah.
So it started being articulate, trying to follow the drummer. And I feel like that was a different approach than most people were taking at the time, instead of playing licks.
And that's also what I'm missing with like a lot of harmonica players out there. Like they are not articulating the notes.
Right. Yeah, and it all kind of slides together, and which is perfect and fine.
Blurry and
I have a lot of love for that. I mean, anything harmonica, anything music, everyone, it's the international language, and everyone speaks different, just like everyone plays different. And I have respect for all of it. And the ones that come up, they go, oh, I'm not as good or something. I say, it has nothing to do with being as good. You just have your language you speak that comes out of you, and I have my language I speak, and we take a little bit from each other, but like ultimately find your language and just really practice it, and try to be a little bit different.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's definitely something I mean, sometimes it's hard to teach, but like I feel like it's important, like to
harmonica is the hardest instrument in the world to teach
because it's invisible. Yeah, maybe.
Exactly. If there was one person on YouTube who could fit a camera inside of your mouth and actually view what your tongue is doing and how it's pushing back and how it's dropping and letting air flow, oh my Lord, you'd have millions of hits, because everybody wants to know, how do you bend notes? What is your tongue doing? And it's like, you can tell them, but then they look at you, they have no clue. And it's really hard to teach that. And if people around you are listening, it sounds pretty wild when you're telling someone what to do with their tongue and how to do stuff. People are like, what are y'all talking about over there? Like, I don't know. But it's a,
I feel like that would be another opportunity to like go viral, whatever. Like if you can really capture that, whatever, inside your mouth and like close up video settings.
No one's ever done it.
Yeah,
it would be a good idea. I don't know how we would do that, but I mean, there's satellites in space, so I mean, I figure we can figure something out.
Very true. Yeah. So just like starting out playing harmonica, it was clear to you that you wanted to go into that blues direction.
I started out playing the metal stuff.
Yeah.
But then I very quickly went to like, are you familiar with bluegrass music?
Yeah, of course.
So okay, so I immediately went towards bluegrass. I kind of grew up, my family, my mom and dad
That's
played
funny.
bluegrass
Yeah.
and gospel. And so it was more of a fast, everything's real fast playing. It's almost like the fiddle tunes, and you're trying to keep up with the fiddle.
Yeah. But there's
So
definitely a connection to metal there.
yeah, it's all these. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the same. I always tell people, all my metal friends that used to be into metal are all bluegrass players now. It's because they can do the same thing on acoustic instrument and people love it. It's like,
True.
but it kind of articulated into that. But the bluegrass is where I really liked, where I really wanted to go with it. And this like Southern rock and jam band and that kind of, I was a big fan of the Allman Brothers band, huge, always have been. And we would go to these Allman Brothers band festivals where they would have other bands very similar and stuff. And really watching, and a lot of those old bands had harmonica in them and around them and stuff. And I just always felt captivated by it. I literally fell in love with the harmonica. It was something I didn't have to do. It was something I really wanted to do. And I enjoyed learning
Yeah.
new stuff. And I enjoyed going to shows and videoing people on stage and coming home and dissecting that video and rewinding it 200 times so I could hear how they're bending and try to learn what they did. Or if it was a chromatic run up and down they did, I would slow it down and learn note for note, try to learn that run. And try to, John Popper told me the first time I played with him, he told me something very useful. Because when we got off stage, I threw up in a trash can because I was so nervous to play with him, and I was terrified. And it all kind of came together very unexpectedly. And all of a sudden, all I knew, he was calling me on stage, and me and him were going head to head. And I got off, and I was so nervous, and we ended up sitting backstage. And I said, he said, "Are you okay? You doing good?" I said, "Yeah, I'm doing real good, John." I said, "I'm just you know how hard it is to play with you and not play your stuff, because I'm such a fan of him.
Yeah.
It's hard to be standing next to him because you don't want to do his thing because he's doing his thing." So I just said, "You know how hard it is to play like, or to not play like you when, I'm a huge fan." And he simply just said, "I think it's wonderful that I inspire you in my sound and what I do. And I'm getting older and you're a younger kid. And not many people are even into harmonica. So I think it's cool that you like my sound." He said, "You do it very well." He said, "If I can just tell you one thing, you can steal any of my licks. You can take any licks that I have, but I ask you to change a couple notes, change a couple things, make it your own, but take the basis of what I do and make it your own and roll with it." And that to me was a green light for so many things in my career. So many. And I don't just play harmonica, I play multiple other instruments and stuff. So
Yeah.
I kind of applied that to everything, and just like learning a certain thing that really appeals to me, changing it. And that is kind of when I got into the articulation thing. Where John Popper would go off on a tangent or something, my bluegrass stuff came back of this, just these tongue rolls, almost like banjo rolls.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that's kind of how it evolved into that. That was one of my first real sit downs by an idol of mine, I guess you could say, someone I very much look up to. And he was kind enough to sit down and talk to me and to show me some stuff. And really sweet guy he is. But yeah, that's kind of my style. And a lot of people on TikTok, are like, "Oh, you sound like Blues Traveler. Oh, you're ripping off Blues Traveler." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's because I am." It's, if you sound that way, it's because you're copying him, because he's the only one that really sounds like him. But there's a lot of players out there you pull from. It's, you pull from the blues guys, the country guys, the bluegrass guys, and you apply that to hip hop, which has never really been a thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is what is going on now, is the younger generation is thinking, "Oh, I didn't know the harmonica was cool. I thought, it was just something my grandfather plays." And then they're hearing it with their favorite artist, or hearing it with Justin Bieber, or hearing it with anyone, and they're going, oh wow, this is amazing, I think I like this, which is ultimately my goal, is just to turn as many people on to harmonica. It's been a big joy for me, so I'd like to pass that along.
Yeah, I love that. And I can definitely yeah, that experience of playing with John Popper on stage. I mean, I had like a similar situation playing with Howard Levy on stage, and I mean,
I would be just as nervous.
same situation. I mean, either way, like, doesn't matter if you're like playing phrases back and forth, or like, I mean, if you start out playing a solo while playing that, like, oh shoot, Howard Levy is playing after this.
Yeah.
And then like the other way around, like if he starts out, oh no, what am I gonna play after this?
Now you got to go on after. Yeah.
So that's a wonderful challenge.
Yeah, it's good for you. It's good for, I tell people all the time, if you're not nervous, you're doing it wrong. If you're totally comfortable walking out in front of, I don't care if it's 2 people or 20,000 people, if you're totally comfortable walking out in front of them, something's wrong.
Yeah.
You should be nervous. I mean, anything pouring your heart out to this many people, especially when you have people before you and after you playing, it's nerve-wracking because you have to hold yourself to a certain standard. I mean, whether there's a harmonica player or not,
Yeah.
it could be any instrument, but I think it's healthy to be nervous before something like that.
Yeah, very true. And still, I mean, it's weird, but for me, I'm less nervous in front of like thousands of people instead of whatever playing in front of like 10 people who kind of like know me, or maybe like heard about me, and oh, there's that guy, he plays harmonica, or whatever, or maybe it's like even family related, like relatives, and they heard like, oh yeah, our son is playing harmonica, and then they're gonna hear it for the first time. Like, that's terrible.
I just had this conversation 2 days ago with a friend of mine, the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I said I'd rather play in front of a big crowd any day than play in front of a couple people.
Yeah.
Whether I know them or not, because those couple, if you're playing in front of a lot of people, that means that there's a lot of people already there to hear music. They're already pumped, they're excited, they're ready for some music. If you're playing in front of a couple people or 10 people, 5 of them might want you to shut up. 5 of them might keep looking at you like, will you stop?
Yeah.
And then the other 5 might come up and say you're their favorite person they've ever heard. But it's such an intimate thing. The smaller the crowd, the more the intimate. I don't know, it's nerve-wracking.
Very true.
Yeah. There's a lot worse things to do, though.
And you said you're doing these live streams on TikTok too. Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, what are you doing these live streams?
I am experimenting right now with the live streams with some of my, I guess you could call it like TikTok mentors, friends of mine that I've met through TikTok on TikTok that are very successful with it. And they kind of just, here's what I think you should do thing. And everyone keeps telling me the way to get up followers and to get your music out there is to go live. TikTok wants you to go live. So when you do go live, they promote it a little bit more than they do the videos. And I have been doing kind of like a request hour thing, and sometimes a couple hours.
Yeah.
I'll go on and I have a saved list of songs that I already like to cover. And I think it's just fun. And there's just some different stuff, a bunch of different stuff on it. And so when I go live, I'll just start my playlist and start playing. And in between songs, or when I take a break in between stuff, I tell people, hey, if you have a request, please just let me know in the chat your request and I'll get to it. I'll try to play it next in line, and then all these people just chime in and start requesting songs. Some of it gets out there. Some people request some weird stuff. I've even been stumped a couple times. Like I couldn't find what key some of these things are in, and just like, wild stuff. But that's pretty much what people, and they love it, and people can tip you on there. Okay. You know what I mean? If you play their song, they can send you directly money that TikTok does not get any money. It goes straight to your account. So, which is kind of a cool thing.
So
You
it's
know,
connected to PayPal or whatever.
it has different options. I am what they call a creator on there now, and I've got enough fans to where like I have my bank information set up and everything with
Okay.
TikTok because they pay me for my videos, all my views on my videos, and they pay me when I go live. It's not much at all, but I had that set up so that goes to that automatically. And you had to have that set up if someone did want to give you money or tip you or something through the app. You have to have your information set up with them. I'm sure you can use PayPal. I don't have PayPal. um
Okay.
but yeah, but it's a cool feature going live on there. I mean, if you think about it, you're in the comfort of your home. You can and you can connect with people who from all around the world. I mean, it's a really neat thing. And people, I've learned of a lot of new music by doing this request. People requesting stuff that I've never heard, and every time I like that song, I just put it on my playlist, and I have a bunch of new music all the time. People are always asking, what's some new stuff?" And I'm like, huh, "Let me tell you." Like,
Yeah.
but that's because of TikTok.
Yeah, that's also something I wanted to ask you. Like, what kind of music do you enjoy listening to right now? Like, what would we find in your Spotify playlist?
Hmm. Uh, Everything. I mean, I literally will go from like rap to like Chopin. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
I love classical. I love hip hop, country, bluegrass. I also play with a bunch of different bands. And in my past, in certain years, I was playing with around 200 bands every year. And so my chops of playing different styles, I mean, from going from a band that's a bluegrass band to a Latino band to a blues band to a jazz band to like a New Orleans type thing. I mean, all over the place. So I kind of listen to everything. I'm a very broad spectrum of music. Um,
That's
yeah,
really
I
good.
mean, if
Yeah.
my Spotify playlist would be all over the place. Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
but I also try to challenge myself to put harmonica to songs that were not designed for harmonica and somehow make it fit. Um, which once again, here we go with like TikTok Live. It's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
They want to hear us. They want to hear a song that's their favorite song that's never had harmonica on it and see what I can do with it, which pretty neat. Pretty neat because you can save these your lives. You can save the whole video and you can repost it at a further date or put it on YouTube or like whatever you want to do with it. But
I see. Yeah, and sometimes, I mean, you got your setup there. Uh, maybe your effects also help you to do that and incorporate harmonica everywhere, right?
mm,
So, what are some of the effects you like to use?
mainly I only just use delay.
Okay.
Um, even just like now, it's like if you're just that's pretty much my only thing I like to use is delay, especially because it can muddy if things get distorted. Um, on a live setting at a live show, I'm all about using distortion. As long as I can control it, because there's a lot of feedback comes with it. I'm sure you know this,
Yeah.
and it's easier to do these really fast runs when you have distortion. It's way easier. I mean, it's like an electric guitar versus acoustic guitar. It's just
Yeah. I mean,
very
at
easy.
the same time, it's just like it compresses the signal. So,
Yep. It kind of does the work for you. I mean, it's harder to do it acoustic and just and do these runs on just a harmonica. But when it comes to my videos, and I do a lot of studio like session work for people here in Nashville, and I pretty much just they want to hear clean harmonica, and even if it's blues, I mean, you can go that approach of making it dirty and muddy in the amps. Um, I don't actually own an amp. I've sold
yeah,
all my amps. I only play direct in
same.
and play through a pedal board.
So, what
Yeah, I've
kind
sold
of
all my
delay pedal do you use?
I actually love the Boss. I think it's called
Yeah.
the DD3.
True.
The third generation one. I love that one, and I've been using that. I've probably had three of them because I have multiple boards. I have a board that I take on the road. I have a board for at home, and But I love the Boss pedal. I also love the Boss bass octave. I used to
Yeah.
use that a lot with harmonica. I could put a triple low octave on there, and I mean crank it up, and that thing sounds really cool on some different stuff. Yeah, I used to do some wild stuff. You can make it sound just like a helicopter
Very
with
true.
that with a delay pedal and that bass pedal octave pedal. Like the whole room would vibrate in a place. People were like, "What is going on?" I would like start off with that and then do like the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh yeah.
Wow, yeah, it's pretty intense.
Wow, I should get back to like using my effect pedals again. Like, they're just sitting here, and I used to play in a live techno band where I was like
Really?
basically the harmonic instrument.
Wow.
So we didn't have like keys or guitar. We only had like trumpet plus harmonica, but like
Wow.
with big effect setups. And I did some crazy stuff there, but yeah, then I stopped using them basically. I'm always playing acoustically live right now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously playing classical music, like,
Yep.
but it would be
It's
fun.
good
Like
for you.
I really like. I feel like I would really enjoy playing like some gigs, like with
Yeah.
crazy distortion or like.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I think I got away from it because I depended on it at one point. Like if my pedal didn't work, I didn't want to play the show. I was because I depended on that. It made it easier for me. And now that I haven't played with pedals in a couple years, like my chops are better. I can articulate things better
Oh yeah.
because you can't be lazy with it when it's just you and a harmonica. You really have to make it sound like you want, or
Yeah.
it's not going to.
Yeah. That's what I felt like for classical music. I wanted to, yeah, just like make everything sound the way I intended it to sound like, or like just make clear that like all the effects are coming from
Mm-hmm.
me and like it's not something else.
Yeah, and once you have that bass, it's fun to go back to the pedals. It's fun to go plug in
Yeah.
those things and crank the amps and just absolutely go ham. I enjoy it. I would sit back and laugh at it sometimes. I'm like, man, I really miss this. I miss this big band sound. You can feel that amp on your back behind you, and I love that. Did you play tube amps or solid state?
Oh yeah. Usually two amps on stage. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's
What
this
kind
one pedal, um, which is crazy. It's called frequency analyzer. It's like a ring modulation pedal,
huh?
and
Frequency
it like
analyzer.
generates kind of like yeah, like some weird harmonics. And you can like there's like a switch that activates like the sub frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard it like some bass player was using it in a YouTube video, and it blows away the complete venue. It's crazy. And doing
I'm
that,
not.
like using the octave pedal on the harmonica first, and then going into that ring modulator.
Mm.
Wow.
I imagine
It
that's
will
pretty
move,
crazy.
ev- yeah, the bodies of everybody.
Yeah. Do you do much I hate to call it tongue blocking because it's not tongue blocking, but and it's not really octaves. Like when you put your tongue over two holes and you blow in one and four.
Oh yeah,
Like
playing
it's more of a
octaves. Yeah, I don't know.
chord playing. Yeah, I love doing that with a chorus pedal. You can make
Yeah,
it sound just like an organ. If you set that chorus pedal right and then you play the octaves on it or whatever, I mean, you can make it sound just like an organ. My buddy actually, oh, where is it? I had it somewhere. It's the POG, the polyphonic organ
oh yeah,
generator. Or my buddy actually gave me one, which was kind of nuts because the one that he gave me, I guess they're not making anymore. Haven't made for a while. And you want to talk about wild? That thing has got all the different. It can go from like an organ to church, like church organ And that is, you ever heard someone play blues on like through a harmonica with a church organ effect? It doesn't really work,
Yeah.
but it sounds crazy.
Yeah, that's
But
so
they're all,
interesting. Everybody in the chat, let us know like which kind of effect pedals you'd like to use, or if you're using effect pedals at all. Um,
yeah,
I feel like I
swinging in
gotta
for
get
hello
back
from
into it.
Virginia. Eric Byron, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Yeah, there's a. Have you heard of Marcus King band?
Oh no.
You have to look him up, man. He's really good. He's doing some big stuff these days. I've had the honor of playing with him a couple times. Super good, super good. You'll probably love him. Who's one of your favorite artists as far as like who you're listening to these days?
Oh, harmonica or
Oh, I don't necessarily on anything really. I mean,
anything. Wow, I really like got into the Afrobeat world.
uh-huh.
Kind of unexpected. So I started out producing some music and tried to get into like the hip hop trap niche,
Mm-hmm.
like also German speaking, but that didn't really work out. And then I linked up with Nigerian artists on Instagram, which is crazy. And I just love the sound and just the easy and happy chords, you know.
Yeah, 100%. I love it. I love it as well. As
And
I said,
yeah,
world
that's
music.
what I'm listening to a lot right now. But yeah, that also got me some work in like all different kind of directions. So I'm also doing some old school hip hop now or trap, even though that wasn't
I
my
love it.
initial path, like production wise.
And we're in the same boat. We're doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just love everything.
Yeah, that's what Hohner was kind of when I was talking to my buddy with them, Derek, and he was like, y'all, cats like you doing this are making the harmonica cool again. Like y'all, do like smashing up with this hip hop and trap music. I mean, who
Yeah.
ever thought about putting a harmonica with trap music? Come on now. Like, but it oddly sounds really good if it's played good. It sounds
Yeah.
really good, if it's well placed. With once again, that's where that articulation comes in. That's that
Oh,
da
it's
tiki
true.
da tiki da tiki da, hitting with that beat with the drums.
Yeah. But also playing melodies like just like articulating and following like the actual pronunciation and like these transients of the vocalist, like um
Mm-hmm.
and getting a feel for the placement of that melody and laying back or like being in front of the beat and all that stuff. um
Well, I've always been a huge fan of hip hop. Even before I was into anything else, it's always been hip hop. I
yeah.
grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, and do and we down there's just a lot of hip hop where I grew up, and so when I got into doing this, I kind of already I've been beatboxing since I was a little kid. You know what I mean? Just
I see.
so
Yeah.
it's one of those all day long. I'm already so like when I'm doing that in my head, and then here comes a harmonica. I really honestly, when it comes to this rap stuff that I'm doing, I'm trying to I'm trying to rap like I would through my mouth through the harmonica. I'm
Yeah.
trying to make it sing. I'm trying to make it rap.
Yeah.
And that's I've had a lot of people comment on my videos and they're like, I heard every word your harmonica just said. Because it literally is that. Like I couldn't rap it that good. It wouldn't sound that good. But the harmonica, it comes off with that right tone.
Yeah. I love that because like that was the main thing that I loved about like hip hop and trap when I discovered some of the more recent stuff. I didn't really care about the words.
Mm-hmm.
I did care about the different flows
Mm-hmm.
and like the
The words
creativity with
usually are
that. Yeah.
the words usually make no sense. It's all just made up mumble jumble usually, but that's not why people like it. People like it because the beat. It sounds good. It's very pleasing to the ear.
Yeah. And it's also like the perfect combination, like talking about trap, like just for the human ear and like the space that like the instrumentation of trap music gives to the voice. Um, I actually wrote my master thesis about like the Roland 808.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so there's like so much space for the voice. It's like really the center of attention. Like you just have these hi hats that are very high in the frequency spectrum, the 808s
Mm-hmm.
that are really in the sub frequencies, and yeah, there's a clap or a snare, but yeah, and then additionally, like most of the time, like the actual instruments or like the harmonies, they are like they have like a filter on there too, basically. So
Very
there's
simple though.
so
Usually
much
most of it's
space for
very
all
simple.
the sibilants,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yeah,
like
it's just
whatever, like between 1 and 4 or 1 and 5 k
mm,
hertz, and that's where
mm-hmm.
the human ear is like most sensitive. So
Yeah, it's stimulating. I mean,
that's it.
I've always loved it. I get why people love it. I get why the younger generation loves it. You know what I mean? I think in the 70s, in the 80s, definitely in the 90s, but there was a lot more instrumentation in music, even the hip hop. I mean, they had DJs back there, like they were spinning, they were doing all this crazy stuff. They had like samples coming in on top of the vocals. It was just a lot.
Yeah,
Trap music kind of breaks it all down, and like you said, like lends to the vocalist or whatever the middle focus
yeah,
is.
or even lands to the human ear. Like
Yeah, yeah, you could take the vocals out, and I could sit there and listen and just bob my head all day. Like, yeah, I call a lot of trap music driving music. When I'm driving on long distance, I like to listen to trap music. It's comfortable.
yeah, that's so good. Nicola asks, what do you think about Moses Conquest? I don't know
Moses
about him.
Conkus. What do I think about? I don't know who this is.
Me neither.
Okay, okay. I felt like an idiot. I was like, wait, I don't know who that is.
Moses.
Who's okay, Nicola? Who is Moses
Oh yeah, I
Conkus?
do remember him. Yeah, he's a harmonica player and he's beatboxing, and he was on a talent show, and he maybe even won the whole thing.
Oh my
I
God, I do
think he's
remember
from Italy,
him.
but he lives in the UK.
Yeah. Wow. I thought about him in a while.
Oh, that's
He was
awesome.
really good.
He's really good. Yeah. And
He's
I think
really
he would
good.
have a lot of fun. Like, I don't know if you've tried that one yet, but like the new Hohner Panther Hop.
Oh yeah, they hooked me up with the whole set. They
Yeah.
are really cool.
And the funny thing
Really?
is, like, the first time they gave it to me, I didn't play the pentatonic or play melodies. I did start to beatbox with the two chords.
Yes. It's
They are
wonderful.
amazing.
It sounds so good with beatboxing. It really does. Some there's some videos of some people at a spa convention years and years ago. I forget who it was, but he was beatboxing with a minor harmonica. My buddy
Yeah.
Brendan Bailey does as well.
That was
And
probably LD Miller.
yes, it was LD Miller. That's exactly
Yeah.
who it was.
That's like, for me, it's like, in my mind, especially back then, that's like a legendary harmonica video, you know?
Yes, yeah, it was. And LD wasn't didn't he go on like a big show with his brother?
Yeah, I feel like he also participated in one of the talent shows.
He did. I'm pretty sure he did. But that guy's really good. But when I heard that with that like minor, I was like, man. And when I hit the pentaharp, it was the same feel. And I said,
Yeah.
I love this. It took me a while to understand it because I'm so used to playing second position that it took me a while to really sit down and understand how the pentaharp worked. Um, I had a tip from a friend of mine who said, go home, drink like 6 or 7 beers, and then try to play it, and it'll probably make sense. And I did,
Yeah.
and it made sense. I literally drank some beers and calmed down and sat down with it and started playing and went, oh, now I get it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, maybe just like gotta turn off that brain instrument or like the structure you have in mind of playing the regular Richter tuned harmonica.
Yep, it was very weird, but I love them, and I do mess around with them now with my beatbox and some of my videos and stuff.
Yeah.
But I am obsessed with these rockets, man. These new rocket amps. I
Yeah,
was a
talking
big
about the
special.
low tuned harmonicas. Yeah.
Even the regular tune ones. I was a big fan of special 20s my whole life. I've been a special 20 guy.
Yeah.
Partly because John Popper, Blues Traveler. I mean, that was his deal, and they also were very responsive up top, and I really loved that. They pretty much listened to everyone's feedback from the special 20. They widened the back of it, they widened the holes right here, they recessed it a little bit in there. It's louder and easier to play. But these low tuned ones are for people that don't know. I'm sure there's people here, a bunch of people on there that don't know. So a regular, this is just a D harp. I'm just breathing in. This is a low D. It's a whole different ball game when you're playing. And now I have the option when playing with other bands and or DJs. The low usually sounds a lot better with electronic music and with DJs and stuff for whatever reason. And the high usually sounds better with blues, and it cuts through a little bit more in country and blues and definitely jazz.
Yeah. And
But
it's just a
but
fact,
this
like, it is louder than other
yeah,
harmonicas.
it is
I
louder.
mean, like, manufacturers will always tell you that the harmonica is very loud, but the rockets are actually louder than like a regular special 20 or something.
Which makes great for me, someone who likes to beatbox with the harmonica.
Yeah.
Because you need that, especially if you're on a video. If you're like on a TikTok or an Instagram video, you really want it to be as loud as you need that harmonica to be right there with it. So I mean, it only helped, street performers and stuff, who are sitting out on a corner just playing harmonica. You're gonna be heard with one of those rockets. Things are loud.
You can't be loud enough. Like,
yeah.
True.
But big shout out to Hohner and Derek and everybody making all this happen. It was literally a dream. It is a dream come true. Something I've been playing harmonica professionally for about 17 years. And Hohners have just always been my harmonica. It's always, I've been so picky along the way, and everyone's like, hey, try this, and try these. And I've had harmonica companies send them to me for free. Hey, just try them. And I just have not found something that I love as much as Hohners.
Yeah.
But I'm biased.
Yeah.
That's just my favorite.
Me too.
Yeah.
But still, like, also with the low-tuned harmonicas, I feel like if you try low-tuned harmonicas from other manufacturers, they tend to be quieter.
Yep, they are quieter. So,
yeah.
Because they have the
which is nice for your neighbors, but not if you're a performer.
Yeah. If you play harmonica, your neighbors already hate you anyway, so don't worry about it. But
if you practice
the low tune,
any instrument, like, and take it seriously.
Oh yeah, I mean, imagine if you were a bagpipe player.
Yeah.
Your whole neighborhood would hate you. I mean, how do you know? I love bagpipes. I'm a huge fan, and man, those things are so loud. I mean, you have to go find somewhere to practice that's away from civilization, because you will drive people mad with that.
Yeah.
Because on any instrument, you got to sound bad before you sound good.
Yeah.
And
even if you're a pro, you should sound bad while practicing.
Yeah, 100%.
Otherwise, you're just playing or like jamming or whatever.
Well, if you're not sounding bad, then you're not doing something new. You're not pushing yourself to do something different, But for the people watching that don't know about low-tuned harmonicas, they're harder to bend notes, especially on the lower register, which is the bottom half of the harmonica. it's a lot harder to bend notes on that than it is a regular harmonica. So if you are a blues player or something, take in, and you want to invest in a set of low tuned harmonicas, realize that it's going to be a little bit harder. I actually had this one set up for me by my buddy Gregory Hohner. Shout out to Gregory. He had this one set up for me and tightened it. He embossed it and debossed it and tightened it, and he tried to make it better to where I could perform an overblow, which I really don't use that much. And it does play a little bit better, but at the same time, they're just hard to bend on the low tune ones. But you don't really need to. I found like I'm not really trying to bend when I'm doing that, when I'm using those.
Yeah, just trying to take advantage of the strengths of the lower tuned harmonicas.
A lot of strength. That's a good way of putting it. The strength of it, because this thing it's a beast. It's loud and it's low, and you can get a drone on there very much like a bagpipe. By doing, some tongue block and some chords on there, you can get a really good drone going.
Yeah, that's what people just ask me, like, after my last concert last weekend, like, if I'm using circular breathing or something. But yeah, it's not needed.
No, it's never needed. Circular breathing is
sounds.
Circular breathing is something that's a big misconception to people. The motion of my breathing while I'm playing harmonica is a circle. It is in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, or out, 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 in. It's regenerative. You keep breathing. You never stop breathing.
Yeah. That's important. Like, don't stop breathing, because like otherwise you don't know where you're at as a beginner, for example.
Yep. That's another important tip.
Keep the air
don't
flowing.
Stop breathing.
That's your eyesight.
Especially, well, if you're going to go into the realm of like, because whenever someone hears someone play harmonica fast and well, you immediately have a want to be able to play that fast and that well. It's just a thing inside you. It's the same with the guitar, piano, anything. When you hear someone do it well and fast, you're like, I want to learn that. And breathing is key to not hyperventilating. I have seen people pass out before playing harmonica, just fall out, because they're not breathing right. Like you have to keep breathing. And as much as I'm breathing out, I'm breathing in. And throughout these years, I used to break harmonicas all the time.
Oh yeah.
I would just blow through these reeds, and they would just bend and go out of tune, or some of them would even snap off, play them so hard. And then I met my buddy Gregory. He said, "Why do you play so hard?" He said, "I can play the same stuff as you, but I don't have to use near as much air."
Right.
Because he was giving me these harmonicas that were like professionally set up, and it would just mute. I was putting so much air in, it was just silence, like nothing would come out. So I have adapted and learned how to, and I haven't broken a harmonica. I have no clue. It's been probably a couple of years. I've just adapted to playing softer and still getting the same
sound,
caliber.
Yeah.
But I also used to like do what everyone said and soak your harmonicas in beer and put them in water and put them in this and like all these things that now I look back and I'm like, why did I ever? It's disgusting, really. I'm like, I don't know why I ever did that, but you never know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, people really love some playing on here on these live streams. And I love what you do, like, especially articulation-wise on the higher pitched harmonicas.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you could give us a taste of that, or give us a little articulation lesson? That's what I wanted you to ask.
For sure. I can definitely. Huh?
Are you teaching harmonica at all? Do you have harmonica students?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I do online lessons, kind of like what we're doing here. I do online lessons. It's kind of a thin pool. There's not. I'm not very good beginner teacher. I feel like there's a lot of people on YouTube that are better beginner teachers than me.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, you have Howard Levy, you got Jason Ritchie, you got Ronnie Shellis, and you got all these amazing teachers on there that are really understand.
You just got like Liam Ward and
yes,
Tomlin, like for people who just want to start out and play some easy melodies,
Yeah, because everyone comes to me because they want to sound like me. And I have to explain to people the only reason I sound like me is because I've dedicated 17 years of my life to playing harmonica every day. Like it's my
So do
life.
you still have like a practice routine right now?
Just play all the time.
Or like any
And
schedule you follow, looking at like, or thinking about the TikTok videos?
nothing at all.
Okay.
My routine of practice is playing new stuff that challenges me. It's listening to something and going, I don't know if I can put harmonica on this. That's my challenge. That's me going, well, I'm not going to leave this room until I do. I'm not going to leave until I figure this out. I'm going to figure it out. And it makes me a better player. And a lot of that is like a lot of Indian music is minor tuned. And if you're playing a major harmonica and it's not minor tuned, then you have to bend to all these minors and you have to make that harmonica sound like you want, and at times transpose. When the key changes, you have to transpose on the same harmonica, and it's that to me is my want and my practice and my knowledge. You know, playing these TikTok and going from a bluegrass video to a rap video to just me and a drummer to a big band video. Like everyone is so different that it, you know, it keeps my chops up. For sure. And that's what I would explain to people. And that's what I always tell people. Like, if you're interested in the harmonica, just breathe and play. I say, don't learn Mary Had a Little Lamb. What I say always, my first thing I ask people, what's your favorite song?
Yeah.
And they say, oh, with harmonica. I said, no, without harmonica. Like, what's one of your favorite songs that you just love listen while you're riding around? And they'll tell me that song. And then I'll find it on Spotify and I'll put it on and I'll say, okay, now we're going to be, and I'll figure out the key. Okay. So, you know, okay. So we're going to use the E harmonica. Okay. And then I'll explain to them why we're using an E harmonica. But that's what we practice on my lessons. I don't want to teach them something that they're going to go, well, I mean, I just feel like some 80-year-old lady gave me a piano lesson. You know, I want it to be fun. Because if they can get off that lesson and go, I just had a lot of fun, they're probably going to want to play it more. So my approach to lessons is more targeted for people that already kind of know what's going on with the harmonica. Yeah. And then we can like try to capture your favorite of what you love. And I can try to break it down and explain it. Because I do not know how to read music. I do not know the names of the notes that I'm hitting. It's all colors in my mind, and it's all like different patterns. It's really just patterns. Yeah. But I couldn't tell you. I mean, my friends are like, "Oh, go to A sharp," and I'm like, "Where's that? I don't know what that is. You mean this?" And I can hit it because I know what's supposed to sound like. So that's kind of like I tell people I'm the worst and best teacher ever. Because I'm not going to teach you the notes that you're playing. I'm just going to teach you how to listen and how to sound these things out, because that's how I taught myself. I was not classically trained or anything. I don't, which is a completely different approach to teaching, I feel like. Yeah. But yes, I can play something for you. Last time I was doing a Zoom, whenever I'd get high notes, it would cut out. And let's see if it does. Hopefully it doesn't. So let's grab it. I'm going to grab a D, standard D again. Okay. And then I'm going to grab the low D and show everyone the difference on this. So that's like kind of like the little deal with the with the standard tune one.
Could you slow down that articulation you did on the 4-hole draw? Was it that
Yeah,
one?
for sure. So I was laying in bed the other night and thinking about how I form these, and when I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about a drummer with a kick and a snare, and him going tat 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 tat, or you could just go tat 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 tat. It's just different ways, and that's why that's why my TikTok blew up from me just playing with drummers.
Yeah.
You know, it was just me and a drummer, and people love it because I feed off a drummer. I like when he's hitting, it just does the right thing to me, and I try to keep up with it on this. So that's the same exact thing that I'm doing on the other one for the people who don't know. It's no different, but it's just a lower tuned harmonica. What I'm doing on that, if I did it blowing out, I'm going just like you would say two, 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 two. I'm literally two, 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 two. Now do that breathing in. Now single out one note out of that. Now bend that note while you're doing it. Wait. So it's a different progression to getting there. And I'll do it on the top, on the high one. This is just a regular D. It's just different ways of hitting the pattern within a certain time frame that you have. But I always start off with and you can do that million different variants of that. But that's literally just ta ticka ta ta ticka ta ta. But I'm breathing in and I'm drawing down on that four. It's like sometimes a double bend to get that, because you're, you know, and a lot of people are like, oh, how many holes are you hitting? I'm just hitting one hole and just breathing. You just bending that note down. And you can do that kind of all the way up and down the harmonica, especially if you're playing with a DJ, with electronic music. I found it a lot easier with electronic to do what that is, because I'll see it's muting on me right here. I had this one worked on. Yeah, see, I got one muted out right there.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a wonderful sound. Like, first of all, just like the bend in there kind of sounds like a DJ scratching, whatever. But also, like, the rhythmic aspect is like a roll, like a drum roll or like a hi-hat roll that you can
That's
hear
what
in
I'm
trap
going
music.
for. That's what I'm going for, is the drum roll. It's that ta 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 ta, which is like the oldest. It has been moving people for centuries, that beat. I mean, you could put it in anything,
and it's still being used like all the time, like just like trap hi-hats, like whatever. It's like
they're all doing it. I mean, it's like one of the oldest things, but that's why people it's still being done, because it's just timeless. It's one of those beats that you could put with Afro music, you could put with Indian music, you could put with anything. I had a request to do like an Indian style song, and that's why I did that Sick Egg video. It's on my TikTok of me and a DJ. Yeah. He's got this mask on, and he goes into this very minor Indian thing, and I followed along. Absolutely, one of the funnest things I've done. I had so much fun. I actually had like 15 different videos of that and picked that one to post. Yeah. But I had a blast playing along with it and trying to mimic that minory, like like with the vocals,
yeah.
like trying to do that on a harmonica is challenging. And it was like, okay, like, but that was really cool. I just try to tell people, just do what you like, do what sounds good to you. And if you like what I do, then listen to the drums in a song. If they're, you can on top of that, and you might as well just be another drummer, kind of doing that on the side. And that is pretty much what I do when it comes to that.
Yeah, rhythm is key. I mean, it's like the most important part of music. Way more important than melody. Way more important than the notes you play. So, yeah.
Well, you're all of a sudden not a lead player; you're a background player too. I mean, on these videos, I'm purposely being loud so people can see what's going on. But in a live setting, I never play on top of other musicians. You know what I mean? Etiquette. But I definitely have found a way to sneak back in between the drums and the bass, and I can sit and hold a rhythm down with them that not many harp players. I think they could do it. They just don't care to do it.
Yeah. But also like maybe they're not able to keep it in the pocket like for a long period,
Yeah, I'm all about the pocket. All about the pocket. That's why I just one of the main instruments that I just love the most in life is drums, and I do not play drums. I've tried a million times, just can't get my hands and my feet to do different things. Which is also weird because if I'm playing harmonica on a rack and playing a guitar or mandolin or something, if I do the strum da 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 with my hand, I immediately go. I can't separate this. It's like I'll be in the middle of a run and like I just can't separate these things. But I feel like everyone has a little bit of that.
I see. Yeah.
But I got a buddy who got really good at playing rack, and he's inspired me. Very much inspired me to get my rack back out. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The Hohner has a cool one, the flex one, but I really one day someone's gonna come up with like the most brilliant one. Maybe it'll be you. Maybe you should come up with like the most brilliant rack there ever was.
Oh, but also like there was a thought Howard Levy had like about playing in a rack. Like the harmonicas should be shaped differently. They should be curved.
Wow. Never even crossed my mind. Howard Levy would say that. That man's a genius.
Because like like just moving around on the instrument, like moving to the low holds or the higher ones, like you're just far away from the instrument then, and like that's why
naturally.
Yeah, and that's why I mean curved harmonicas would make like every street musician sound better on the harmonica too, because like the tone will be warmer.
Has anyone ever made a curved harmonica?
I feel like there are aren't like some of these octave harmonicas curved?
I don't know. Not anything that I've seen. I mean, there may be. Hey, Derek, if you're still in here, do y'all have any curved harmonicas in the Hohner repertoire that are out today?
Yeah, but
that we don't know about.
There are no like 10-hole diatonic ones that are curved.
Let's look at the chat real quick. Isaac Ruggles, what's going on, buddy?
Have you tried chromatic harmonica in this style?
Huh?
Have you tried playing chromatic harmonica in this style?
No, because I got a couple and I do enjoy them for like, I've always been a big Stevie Wonder fan, and it's kind of hard to transpose what he does on a diatonic because it's just difficult for me personally. And the classical, I put this goes back to my hard playing. I put maybe too much air. I look at classical harmonicas like very delicate. You play them with not much air and they sound the best. But as much air as I'm used to driving, like and like breathing, I feel like it wants to mute these reeds on a chromatic.
Yeah.
So I haven't done much with it. I haven't done much with it.
I see. Yeah, but listening to all the stuff that you just did, like, we have these monthly harmonica challenges going on Twitch, and different topics all the time. And there's like a Discord server, and we have like 3 categories of beginners, intermediates,
What?
and advanced
I
players.
didn't even know about this.
Yeah. So this month's challenge, this is a little ad, is playing in 12th position, which is like playing in the key that's a fourth above the key of the harmonica. And we always have like a special judge guest on there, which is who's Carlos der Junco this time.
Okay.
And we're gonna do like a solo harmonica challenge with Adam Gusso next month.
Oh wow.
And yeah, we should think of something too. Like I'm not
Yeah,
sure
for
if,
sure.
like,
I got to get on
we
Twitch.
could
I'm
do
not even
like
on
a
Twitch.
beatbox harmonica challenge.
Yeah, that could drum up some cool stuff. Let's see if we get old Jussie Smith on there.
I mean, it's close to the solo harmonica challenge, but I feel like, yeah, just
That could bring out some cool stuff, man. The beatbox.
but maybe the
The
challenge
beatbox-
could be playing along to a drum track only.
Hey, that'd be cool because you really get to see if you have one generic track that all the different people are doing on, you would really get to see people highlight their own expression on every level there.
Oh yeah,
Because
so
if everyone
just providing one
one
drum
beat and everyone just give your your language of what you think this should sound like.
Yeah,
I mean, it would be completely different on everyone, I bet.
they should use the drum video that you use for your 4 million view video.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and shout out to Greg Hersey. That's who that is.
Yeah.
See, I had no clue. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I just found this guy on TikTok, thought that was a really cool video, put harmonica to it, put it out. We're actually from the same town, Jacksonville, Florida,
Yeah.
both of us. And he teaches, he's a band teacher at a school right down the road from where I used to live. We had no clue. Small world. But big shout out to him. I feel like he doesn't get enough love. I mean, ended up getting all the love for that video, but that video wouldn't have been there without him and his drums. He's really good at what he's doing. I talked to him yesterday about putting some more out.
I like that idea. So, I mean, the solo harmonica challenge is like, there's gonna be harmonica only and very bluesy, I guess. But like, we could maybe do a challenge which is just playing along to a drum track.
I think it would be it's all experimental. Why not?
It's a pretty good idea. Yeah.
Derek said the Hohner echoes are kind of curved.
Yeah.
The echoes are, but don't they curve the other way? Or do they curve in? Do they curve in? I thought like the back of it. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking about the golden melody.
Okay.
Never mind. Yeah. Well, all right, Derek. We need to put it in the works. We need to figure out how we can have a curved harmonica. If we can figure this out, will be the next big thing. Derek, who's on this chat right now, is the one who invented the pentaharp.
Oh, I didn't know that he invented it.
Yeah, that's his deal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling him he's the harmonica guru.
I mean, it makes so much sense. It's so much fun playing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a lot of fun playing it.
I don't know how to pronounce this. The Hohner Comet.
Comet. All right, I'm gonna look this up. Hohner Comet, because I don't know what this is.
It's curved a little. Yeah.
Oh, it is curved. Okay. Yeah. So if they had a diatonic with that curve or a little bit more curve,
yeah, a little.
That'd be really cool. Okay, so they do have curved harmonics.
They would be
all right, it's a thing
fantastic for rack players.
Yep, that would be wonderful for rack players. But see, what do they call that style of harmonica where there's like a bar in the middle? And is that technically a chromatic harmonica?
A bar in the middle.
Okay. So you know how like diatonic, you just got 10 holes.
Yeah.
On that Comet, you had 2 layers of holes.
See, like it's either a tremolo or an octave harmonica.
Okay. let's see. I use my right shoulder to move the rack like an old-fashioned typewriter.
Oh yeah.
That's all right, Aaron Hollywood.
But I mean,
That's
these
that
curved
is
harmonicas
definitely.
would also like the image of the harmonica would be way better because all the rack players would sound better, and that's what
I think it's genius.
people run into on the street, whatever,
Yeah.
and all they hear is that thin sound.
Yep. Yeah. That's what's going on too, right there. Everyone, when I just the funniest thing too, because like I said, I love all harmonica, but I think it's very silly when people walk up, they're just like, "Oh, you play like Bob Dylan," and I'm like, "You don't listen to much harmonica, do you?" Like that, but that's like the only thing most people associate harmonica with Bob Dylan, and I'm like, "No, I don't really play like Bob Dylan," and they're like, "Oh, so you're not that good?" And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to answer that. I don't know. We're just different. We're very
Well, you
different.
probably also
Like,
know these studio sessions where, in the end, you actually have to play worse.
it's very hard for me to do that. I've actually cut clients for they would hire me for doing something that is right up my thing. They love it, and then they call me for like these really slow ballads, which is cool because I can do the slow ballads. Once again, there's when my delay, my reverb comes in. I really like that, but it's sometimes it's just they're wanting me to play something unnatural to me, and it's hard for me to do what they want. I'm not like a classically trained person who can just turn my brain into okay, I can just do this.
Yeah.
It has to feel right to me. Or why are you hiring me? If you want me to sound like me, if you want me to, do exactly what you say, you should probably hire someone else. But I've had to tell people, I'm like, and they're like, are you saying you can't do it? And I'm saying, I'm just saying that someone else could do it better. Someone who really loves this type of music. And I actually know some guys. I'll hook you up with them. They would be great for this, but
Yeah.
don't call me with this kind of stuff anymore. Like, I really, enjoy playing all types, but I really enjoy playing stuff that feels right to me.
Oh yeah. Who's on
If
your
that makes
bucket list
any
to
sense.
jam with next? That's a question from.
Oh boy. Man, I've been very fortunate. I have played with everyone on my bucket list. Been very fortunate. Um, I don't know. There's a cool band called Magnolia Boulevard that I've been listening to a lot, and I think they're from Kentucky. I'm not sure, but they're really cool. I'd like to sit in with them. I'm really my whole deal. What I really want to do now is bust into the EDM world.
Okay.
I want to
Yeah.
start messing with like DJs that are just womp 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 splat womp womp womp. Like the womp splat kind of people. I want to like put harmonica all in there and really figure out like why there's not more. I've just recently been going to a bunch of EDM music festivals and stuff, and I have appreciation for a lot of it and for what it is. And the whole time I'm listening, my harmonica brain is just going nuts. And I'm like, man, I need and I feel like once again, that's a younger generation thing. You don't find many like 50, 60-year-olds listening to EDM.
Yeah.
So I really think it'd be a cool thing to branch into that and show that crowd that the harmonica fits. It's supposed to be there. It's just how you play it.
And it also offers many possibilities for many weird sounds. If it's like more like a
Yeah.
dubstep kind of thing, whatever.
Well, that goes back into our pedal board.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, then break the pedal board back out and get weird.
Yeah.
But that's what it's all about, man. I just it's all about having fun and enjoying it and loving what you're doing. If you don't love it, then it feels like a job.
Very true. Yeah.
So what's going on over there in Germany? What's the music scene like, especially after COVID and all that stuff? Is everything kind of?
Oh well. Like my hometown is in the west of Germany, very close to the Dutch border. So first time I moved away from home, I moved to Cologne, which is yeah, more like the center of like techno. I mean, the techno scene
Hmm,
is really big. That's why we had the techno band there.
okay.
And now I'm in the north of Germany, which is Hamburg. And I mean, if you go out here, I mean, there's a stronger hip hop trap scene than in Cologne. And also, you could run into some clubs that actually still play soul and R&B music, which is kind of unusual. Like in Cologne or in Berlin, that would never happen. But
Right.
here, it's still sometimes a thing.
Hmm.
So like
It's
maybe
definitely
also
still a
for
big
like
thing here.
a generation that's a little older than me. But
Yeah, that's definitely an older generation.
yeah,
That's like the people who were in the 90s. You know, there's a lot of hip hop and soul and
and
R&B
that's
stuff.
nice. And it's like oh, the music scene is like feels pretty official here in Hamburg because like there's still like a lot of actual studios. Um, in Berlin, it's more like all the producers are working like in their underground or like whatever at from home. You know, it's like a little more unofficial.
Uh-huh.
But here you still have bigger studios that do the work. You know.
Well, that's good.
Um, so yeah. But to be honest, like I'm not playing too many, or basically not at all, play in my own town. You know.
Right. Well, hey, that's once again, that's where like TikTok and stuff comes in, man. You're all the way over there and you're not really playing that much in town, but yet over here in the States, I'm listening to you, you're listening to me, all these people that on TikTok are, you know, I mean, it's a small pool of people playing harmonica, at least like taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Especially on TikTok. It's very small pool. Me and you, I had done a song. I don't remember which TikTok it was, probably about a year ago, I'm guessing. I don't know. And then I was scrolling along and I heard someone. I was like, oh my God, who is that? And it was you playing over the same one that I had done. It wasn't over, not,
Yeah.
I wasn't playing on the video. It was the same, whoever the background of it was the same. And you were doing your take on it. And I remember just going like, oh my God, like who
Oh
is
yeah.
this? We got another,
I remember that one.
that, yeah. And I was like, damn, I must have watched it 20 times. I was like, oh my God, this guy's killer. And I asked one of my buddies, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you don't know him?" And I said, "No." And then when you hit me up for the podcast, it was so full circle. I was like, "This is the TikTok guy."
But I'm not the TikTok guy. I think that
No,
was
but
like the
you are. That's
first.
how I find out about you.
Yeah, I think that was the first one I did. Yeah,
Oh, it sounded great.
the first duet I tried,
Uh huh.
and I should do more. Yeah, it's a whole
You
lot of
should.
fun.
It's a small pool, and especially since you're like in that trap hip hop thing. That's literally what everyone's wanting to hear right
Yeah,
now. I can go on there and post a blues video. Nope. Post a country video. Nope. I can post all this stuff. They don't want to hear it. They want to hear like what I call harp and drums, like just harp and drums, or they want to hear like trap. I don't blame them. I do too. I get it.
yeah,
I
that
absolutely
makes
love it.
sense.
But since you're getting into that, you should throw it on TikTok.
Yeah, very true. And I feel like
Hell,
yeah, that's a great way to discover new stuff. And I mean, I studied jazz at a music school,
yep,
and
right.
there are so many players. I mean, you could play in your own town, um, whatever, 5 days a week. But yeah, I'm not into playing these jazz gigs. Um,
Yeah. I love jazz. I love to listen to jazz.
yeah, same.
My whole problem with jazz is I'm not good at math. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of the drums. Drums is my favorite. I don't play drums, but it's my favorite. Listening to a jazz drummer boggles my mind. Like there's the only jazz I like playing is like jazz fusion, like the bluesy jazz, because at least there's a structure to it.
Yeah,
You know, when they get on these off time signatures, I mean, I've been on stage before and bombed and like got up with a jazz band that's just doing some. I literally can't. And they're looking at me like, go, and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on right now. Like, but I have a lot of respect for the jazz musicians, especially the harmonica players like yourself, you know, who study jazz and get into it. Like, listening to you play blows my mind because it's a lot more simple, second position. If you don't leave second position,
Yeah.
it's really simple. There's only so much you're gonna do on it.
But of course, like there's like more contemporary jazz, and they're like some air drummers. That's what you could call
Yeah.
them, like with that are only like playing the hi hats and.
I like it all though. I love it all. Like if I was gonna have a jazz album, I'd definitely call you. I wouldn't attempt to do it. Like,
Yeah.
I love jazz, but it's not my deal.
Wonderful. So what are you up to next? Are you playing some live concerts, or?
I'm in the Melody Trucks band. Her father was Butch Trucks, the drummer for Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
And we just did some stuff in Alabama, played at the Princess Theater with actually we played with I'm having a brain fart. Jimmy Hall
Okay.
from the band Wet Willie. Which I've always been a huge fan of Jimmy Hall, and he's a wonderful harmonica player and a wonderful saxophone player, and a great showman. We played with him, and then I think coming up, I'm actually, as random as it is, I've got a wedding coming up, my wedding, and then
yeah,
me and my wife have got into teaching painting classes. Like landscape painting, like acrylic painting, like Bob Ross.
That's what
We've got yeah, we make happy clouds, happy trees. So we've been doing that, and I've actually structured it in bars and venues that I would usually play music in. I come in and set up for like 30 to 40 people with my wife, and we teach a class in a bar while everyone's having drinks on how to paint. So I've been doing that a little bit more than I've been gigging out. As far as my music goes, I've been very concentrated on doing studio work and TikToks and live stuff and on Discord, like trying to get with these other like-minded creators and create more of an online presence for harmonica. Because I felt it, I'm reaching way more people this way. I can go play a show and a couple hundred people may hear it. Maybe, it might only be 2 people hearing it. But I can come on here and play and thousands of people hear it.
Yeah.
So I've shifted my focus from live music to really online. It's been a big shift. Now when I go to bars, I'm like setting up paint class. It's so crazy.
It's crazy.
But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But I get more enjoyment out of reaching a lot of people on the internet.
So good. Yeah. And obviously I love all the Bob Ross videos. Like
I do too. It's the most calming thing ever to watch that. It's just, love it. And then I started painting, and then we started teaching. It's crazy. I got a bunch of paintings. I got a bunch of stuff.
So good.
But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we already talked for 1.5 hours, which is like one of the longest Hohner live interviews we did here recently.
Oh, good, man. It's been a pleasure.
I've wonderful
really
because
enjoyed it.
This was really different and so much fun.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me, man. It's like I said, I've been very excited since you called me. I know we're both like-minded in what we're doing. I feel like me and you should get together and put something out, do something for TikTok.
Yeah.
I feel like you should do something with Greg's video with that drummer that it blew up. Might as well. People love his style of what he's doing. You know what I mean? And all it is just it's one click, a duet. That's so simple.
Yeah. Yeah, the duet function is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me on, man. I think my phone's about to die here. I'm on 5%.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to do this. And maybe we can actually like set up this harmonica harp and drum challenge.
Hey, let me know too, because I'm very interested in Twitch. I'm not on Twitch, so I'm guessing I need to be. Yeah, if you have that if you have that challenge where you drop one beat and let people just put what they want on it, I would love to be a part of that. I would love to see the outcome of that and to hear all these different versions and genres, because I think that would be beautiful. But big shout out to Hohner. Thank you so much for everything. Love Hohner. Anybody who's thinking about playing harmonica, don't even fool around. Just go with the best. It's the original Hohner.
And check out the pentaharp too. Yeah.
Yeah. And the pentaharp. That's the newest harp they have out right now. It's called the pentaharp. It's in a minor pentatonic scale.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a blues scale. It's already in. So for people that don't know what we're talking about, it's a harmonica that is designed for people who are lazy as hell. Literally, my buddy Derek Frank invented it, and he just said, I invented it because I didn't want to learn how to play harmonica. He's a guitar player, and it's genius. If you're a guitar player, if you're someone who you want to play a little harmonica, but it's not your main focus, I would suggest a pentaharp, especially if it's with blues. It'd be really beneficial to you.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Thanks everybody for tuning in the chat.
I mean, harp and drums challenge sounds amazing.
Yep, I'm all about it. Harp and drums. Now the hashtag on TikTok is harmonica talk.
Oh yeah.
Harmonica talk on there is what you post your videos under there, or like harp and drums whenever I do those. So I've seen a lot of people now like putting out stuff like harmonica talk, like as things. It's starting to grow. But yeah, man, let's stay in touch, and thank you again so much for having me.
Yeah,
I love what you do. I love your work. I love what you're doing and bringing these people together. And I just think it's great what you're doing, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you everyone out there for tuning in today. We'll keep you updated on upcoming challenges. Next one is on May 29th with Carlos del Junco, 12th position. I'm going to record an announcement video tomorrow. It's going to be on my YouTube. Check out the description box below. There's a link to Isaac's TikTok and Instagram. Go follow us there to maybe see the announcement for our challenge, or a harmonic talk video of both of us.
No, dude.
Yeah. Have a wonderful evening or good day from wherever you're tuning in.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Bye-bye.